only advantage of this is that it's growing rapidly. So we might be part of it because it's growing rapidly. Take the past 2 years, for instance. AI has changed so much in the past 2 years. So it's growing rapidly, so we might be added onto that era. But I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I feel like it's something that we should embrace. The same way we wanted our parents to embrace us as we were like walking into this whole information field, is the same way we should embrace the younger generation. Let's just let them do what they need to do with the information that they have.
Like in other countries, we have people prefer like an AI partner over like an actual human being. I will judge you, I will shame you as well.
Okay, sup you guys? We are back, and it's been like how many months? I think like 5 or something. Yeah. We were okay. Yeah, we were dealing with a bit of, cancellation issues and other things, but we are back and we are stronger. I'm not alone today. Actually, I recruited people because I don't know. I just love their minds and how they think and talk. They're like me, but worse or better. So yeah, introducing with me, I have Tato and I also have Gift, in which our topic today is fixing our soft generation by bringing back shame. You guys, whoever wants to go first can go first. Introductions. Sorry for stealing the introduction, but yeah, you can go.
Hi guys, welcome back to another one. We're back again, stronger and better. Today's topic is a little bit controversial, but I think it's something that needs to be discussed. It's something that it's been on my mind for quite a long time, and I feel like one of the biggest issues, not biggest issue, but one of the issues that I'm seeing in society right now is the lack of I don't want to say discipline, but our generation, specifically our generation, is a little bit soft, in my opinion. I feel like we've become, as compared to our parents, we've become a little bit softer. We're softer than our parents. And in my opinion, again, fixing this issue of the softness, one way of fixing this issue of the softness would be bringing back shame, because I feel like most of the people that are driving this problem are shameless people. You understand? So one way of fixing this would be bringing back the element of shame in certain things. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just my take on it. I'll let the other bros introduce their take on it, and then we'll continue from there.
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Tato. Yeah, and I like today's topic. Thank you for listening. Yeah, I like today's topic because I don't know, like it's quite interesting, and shame is one of my favorite things ever. So I'm excited to see what the other guys think of this. And yeah, we'll take it from there.
Okay. On my side, what Gift said. When you say generation, like how many, which period of years are we talking about, bro? Because I keep on hearing that people are like this generation, this generation, this generation, this generation. Bruv, now I'm not gonna lie, bruv. When it comes to generations, I think I'm the dumbest at it because I only know BC and AD. Before Christ, I don't know. I only know that BD. I do not know what the heck that is because I don't know what that stands for. What actually it's AD, not BD, and that's the first question I have for you, Gift. And yeah, for now, that's that. Can you please explain?
Oh, yeah. So when I say generation, I'm talking about our peers. When I say our generation, I'm talking about our peers. So I'm gonna just put it in age groups just to make it a little bit easier to understand. Our peers in this instance would be from, let's say, 18 to 28. Anyone who's
What? Okay.
28 is a bit crazy. Let's say 25. Let's say 25.
Nah, it's alright. Let's make it broad. Let's go for 28.
Yeah, that's what I want it to be broad. Let's say 18 and 28 is our generation. That's us. You feel me? And then anyone older than 28 would be our brothers and sisters. Anyone older than 28, from 28 to 40, those would be our brothers and sisters. Because my oldest brother is 40. You feel me?
28 to 40, bruv.
Yeah.
Bruv, now you're saying that my mom is my brother, boy, or sister. That's what you're saying.
Nah. Nah. I'm just. Okay. 40. Okay, let's say.
Nah. Okay.
Okay. But I don't know, like I feel like we have a general understanding of what we mean when we say generations. So like we don't have to get all the deep
Too
into
deep,
it.
yeah.
Let's get started on the topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I asked is because I wanted like a realistic. I wanted a realistic like kind of
Yeah.
like age group. Like
Yeah.
okay, like for example, 18 to like maybe 28. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair bracket. Like keep it
Yeah.
at that. So speaking from today, if you are 18, between the ages of 18 to 28, you are part of us. And if you are
Yeah.
not, yeah, thank you for listening. Yeah, you
If
can
you're
go,
younger
bro.
than that, umfana. If you're older than that, you are a hot man. But then I'm trying to say, our elders in this sense would be 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds. Those would be our elders. You understand? So I'm comparing, in this instance, I'm comparing our peers and our elders. I'm comparing, how can I put it? The mannerisms of our elders and our mannerisms. I'm saying that in this case, we seem to be softer, or we've grown softer, as opposed to the mannerisms of our elders, people who are 50 years old or 80 years old. It could be the smallest thing, though. Like,
Yeah. But I feel like yeah, okay.
no, continue going. Because we're
Nah,
probably
I
gonna.
wanted to see where you're gonna go with this, but like I don't think it's a bad thing that we are softer. I think it's a good thing. Because don't forget these people are from apartheid, understand? So like they had to be stronger versus the problems that we're facing today. So if you
So,
were to say, yeah, I do believe that like this generation relative to the older generation is softer, but I don't think that we live in an environment that we can cope in. Like I think we are as complex and as strong as our environment.
facts for
So I don't
that.
even
Okay.
see it as a
Yeah,
bad thing.
that's fair.
But yeah, I think we can all agree that we are definitely softer than they are.
Okay. I think. Yeah, no, you can go. You can go. I'll talk after.
Oh, okay. Now I wanted to move on to shame and stuff, but if
Yeah,
you wanted to,
I wanna get to that shame part.
okay.
Yeah. I feel like when I said shame, I meant like having an element of because I feel like our softness, as opposed to, not as opposed to, when, for instance, our elders look at our mannerisms and how we behave, they would see how we behave as somewhat disrespectful. I don't know if that makes sense. And then but then you said, as you said, Tato Hore, it's different times, and we're living in different times, and they lived in different times. So the things that we do might not be suitable for the time that they lived, and then it's different now because we're living in a different century, a different era. But I'm trying to say that let's start being a little bit more shameful, because it seems like I don't know, man. It seems like it's gonna cause a problem, because there's this saying that says, tough times, tough times create strong men, and then strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create tough times. You get it? So in this instance, our parents were tough men, and they created good times. Now we're living in the good times. I'm afraid of the fact that we are gonna become weak men and create tough times. You understand?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
But
think I
I
know what.
hear where you're
Okay.
coming from. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if like I guess in a way I'm disagreeing with you. I am actually. I don't know if like that's different. I think even when our grandparents, our great grandparents looked at our parents, they thought that their life was soft and was easy. So I think I think the world is better, but it's not that we like like I think everyone has problems, nah? But I feel like everyone feels that their problems are the hardest problems that there is out there because it's the hardest problems that they had to face. So I always give this example now. So you have two people living in two separate worlds. One person says, "Hey, dude, I am so stressed, and I like fuel is so expensive. I don't know how I'm gonna get to work tomorrow." And then in a separate world, if someone says, "Man, I am so stressed. I don't know how I'm gonna get to, I don't know how I'm gonna get to that business meeting. Jet fuel is so expensive." They're both crying about something which is completely different. We can argue that one is worse than the other, but they feel the same to them. You get.
They feel
So I
that's
feel
the
like
same type
today's
of
problems
stress.
feel as hard to us as yeah, exactly. So I think it's like we have a different problem today. Like we have like a mental health crisis, and when you say that to some people, you sound like you are so privileged, but to
Yeah.
us as today's kids, it feels as much of a struggle as that they had to go through back then.
I agree
And
with that. I agree with that.
so I don't know if that sums up actually what you're saying. Maybe in some ways I'm agreeing with you that these good times are weakening us in some ways.
In some ways they are, but then our
Yeah.
weak times, as you said, our stresses and their stresses, it's the same type of stress, but it's just different situation.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, it's just different times.
we're saying, yo, I cannot data. And then back in the
Yeah.
days, they were saying, yo, if I go out at night, I'm gonna get killed or something. But it's the same type of stress.
Yeah.
It's just a different times. It's a
No, yeah.
different time period.
And also look at my like I have siblings who are younger than me and the things that they are going through is something that I never had to like it's a new problem.
Yeah.
You understand? Because of they're growing up in different times.
Facts.
But in some ways, I feel like they will be better than me because, they have all this information so young. And so they'll learn things quicker than I had learned things. And so, yeah, I feel like it just depends on the times. So I don't think like this soft generation thing
It's a bad thing.
is a bad thing necessarily, but I feel like we can acknowledge that we have it easier.
Yes. Definitely. Definitely.
I would like to, create a clearer image for like the listener and every single one of us here. Like, okay, since, we have went soft, quote unquote, and we should bring back shame. So let's start off by tackling what makes our generation soft. On my side, I think that morals and principles and values have been kind of they have depreciated on every single person. Well, I would say that like everybody's morals, principles and values are actually subjective, and I respect that. But bruv, I don't know, man. Like on my side, I feel like morals, values and principles have depreciated in value. What about you guys?
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree with you because I think it's a very complicated issue at hand, Francois. Because I feel like we live in a bigger society. Because in many ways, you're like okay, not just like how many people we are, but how close we are with each other and how many different communities like there are now in society. Like there's just so many more different ideas, so many different, maybe not even different, maybe the same cultures, but the fact that we are mixed and we all live together, I think it can also create a diluted idea, or maybe it dilutes the values that we've always had. And I think that's when like conversations like let's bring back shame, we are becoming too acceptable of each other and stuff like that. We are changing things to accommodate each other. I think that's when we can argue for things like shame and stuff like that because like our principles, they're just going away. The things that we value, they are no longer there anymore.
To me, because I've seen people act a certain way, but then we've never seen the same people. Two people, two specific different people have never seen the same type of people. I don't know if that makes sense. So I've met different people, and from what I've seen, I feel like everyone is subjective, as you said. It's every man for himself and God for us all. So I believe it's just a matter of accommodating everyone's values and accommodating everyone's morals. But then at the same time, when we're accommodating everyone, we're not leaving room for kind of what's this thing? The right and the wrong. We can say, okay, Shabu, you say this and this and that. That's your opinion. But then, are we saying that that opinion is right or is acceptable in our society? We're not leaving room for that. That's my biggest problem. I feel like we're not leaving room for things being wrong. We're just saying, okay, that's your opinion. Carry on with it. But then at the same time, people might see that opinion as offensive or wrong in a sense. But then again, it's your personal morals and it's your personal beliefs as opposed to someone else. But then my biggest problem now is that we're so subjective that we're not looking at whether our subjectiveness is right or wrong. I feel like that's the biggest problem. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it makes sense because I think for you to be right or wrong, we have to define what we are moving towards or like what we value, and that will determine whether something is right or wrong. So if everything is subjective, we are so open-minded that our brains are falling off. Like we can't get anywhere constructive.
Exactly.
So yeah, I get what you mean.
Okay, okay, I would like to like actually bridge out. I've actually like went to like Reddit, and it says here, do you believe Gen Zs are too soft like older generations say they are? So it says here, then there's this comment here says that every generation thinks the ones after them are too soft. So what you guys gotta say about that?
That's exactly what Tato was saying, bro. The older generations believe that we're soft, and then we're gonna believe the next generation is too soft because it's gonna be different times. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
that's true. I feel like
That's just the way it is.
yeah, that's completely. I mean, unless like World War III starts, then the cycle will be resetted, and then because Joe, like if you look at the way things are going now, things are going so well that people need like mental health breaks. But if you would have done that 100 years ago,
Yeah.
people would have thought you were possessed by a demon.
Well,
Do you get that?
I've actually like what again, that sounds familiar, and you're not the first person to say that, because yeah, I mean, I think also the the opportunity to be educated and learn more and more and more, it actually, well, it's a double-edged sword, so I would say that Linda, as Tato said, his siblings, like they know more information than him now. Well, they have the potential. Same thing this side. I remember like I hit the road. I was taking a walk. I met these like girls. They're in primary, bruv. They talk things that I've
no.
never
I don't
like.
I don't
Ayo,
like-
they
don't
say
like what
things
this
that
is
I've
called.
never.
Wow, come on. Whoa. Simple,
what do you mean? Wait.
You saw kids from primary and then you decided to
No,
approach
they
them.
came to me, bro.
What
They
do
were
you-
like, yo,
what's-
bro, you are new in the complex. It's like, yeah,
Wow.
what's up? And then they just started, talking. I'm like, I'm listening to what they're saying, bro. And I was like, hey, they talking weird things that I never thought about when I was in primary. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
no, wait,
Gift,
why do I feel
are you
feel
hearing
judged
this?
for talking to
Gift, are you
the
hearing
youth?
this?
Wagwan.
Gift, are you hearing this? Does this sound normal to you?
Bruv, I was taking a
I'm
walk.
listening to it, and I feel like I understand where he's going. I understand where he's going.
Wow.
I understand his
What,
point,
you-
but then
then-
the way he structured the sentence was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
Yeah, he was
And
like, I approached
they
them. I'm
came
like,
to
whoa.
me.
Nah,
They
man.
came to me. Okay.
No, like, okay, I agree.
When you're
Like, the way I
approaching
said it,
kids,
it came out like as if, but like
Yeah.
nah,
But
nah, I
I
don't
think
know.
I understand what he's
For
saying.
okay, for me, ne, like I don't know, bro, but for me, age is something that I told myself like a long time ago that like anybody younger than you or older than you can teach you something. That's what I told myself, and I live by that. You understand?
Right.
So
Yeah.
me listening to what they had to
Yeah.
say, I was surprised. I was like, dog, what? And they're learning everything over the phone, you man. And I was like, bro, I didn't even know this was out there. You understand? And then I was like, wow, Joe, they are educated. They have an opportunity to have a brighter future. You understand? And yeah, man, that's what happened. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a yeah, okay, but let's leave it at that.
Okay. You're not what?
I'm not like
You're
a
not
weird
what?
person, bro.
You're
Like
not what?
I'm brav. I'm not
Oh,
that. Yeah.
okay. Oh, you had to go there, huh? No one thought you were weird, but now that you said it, now we're just gonna
Nah,
go
bro,
there.
because like the way you were like,
Invade the back
yo,
of
bro,
our
what you
minds
mean?
now.
Yo. I was like,
No, I'm just saying. You just sound so defensive, but okay, man.
I was just,
Okay.
making sure that my pawn pieces are protected. My pawn pieces now, my chess pieces, bro. Because yeah, bro. I'm just saying.
What I'm taking from what he's saying is that the younger generation has access to more information, but then my chat now is
No, yeah.
the way in which they use that information. An example would be us. We had so much information when we were,
Yeah.
say for instance 15, 13. We had access to Google. That was the early stages of Google. And considering what our generation has done with that, I feel like in a sense we misused the information that we had at our disposal at the time. And I'm afraid that it's gonna happen to the next generation. They have AI now. They have, stuff like that. I'm afraid that it's gonna be a vicious cycle now that they're gonna be exposed to so much information that they won't know what to do with it, and they're just gonna misuse it.
Okay, I
Yeah,
agree with what you're
that's
saying.
definitely a pro and a con. Like I was talking with someone yesterday. They were like, "Yeah, man, I had like to write an essay, and like he basically didn't do it before the last day of submission." And then he was like, "Yeah, so I just went to ChatGPT and told it to write me an Afrikaans essay." I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Because for us, Joe, like, even having to translate from English to
Yo,
Afrikaans,
boy.
it felt like it was mind blowing. It was so much work.
Actually-
But I felt like, oh man, I don't even have to go to the dictionary.
Actually, ne,
I don't have to do
let me
that.
give you a real life example. I got into school this year, and my classmates are younger than me. Ne? Most of my classmates are younger than me. They're like 19, 18, and I'm turning 21 this year. Yeah, bro. So I'm in a sense older than them. So I'm from a generation that used to use dictionaries to find words and synonyms for words. That used to go to the back of the dictionary if you wanted a synonym. I'm from that generation. You feel me? I'm from a generation that used to Google. I never used AI in school because AI was still a new thing when I finished high school. And then there'd be instances where we're in class and then they're asking a question and all these kids would just go to AI and ask the question. I'm like, why are they so dependent on this AI thing? And it puzzles me because I struggle. I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure out the question, and then when they're already done, I'm like, how are you done? So, I just went to ChatGPT and typed in the question and got the answer. I'm like, are we really moving in that direction? But then, in a sense, it's right for them because it's what they used to. It's what was exposed to them. You understand? For me, it looks weird, like these people are just lazy, but they're not lazy in a sense. They're using what is at their disposal. They're using the resources that are exposed to them, and that's good in a sense, because why have the information or the resource if you're not gonna use it?
Then not use it.
You understand? So that's just an interesting point that I had. It's different for us. It's gonna be different for us looking at the newer generation. And then I feel like now we can relate to our parents when they say, let's wafa, or stuff like that, because we can see it happening. I feel like we're fortunate enough to see this happening. We're fortunate enough to be living in that gray area, the area between our old generation and the newer generation.
Yeah. So would you say that I'm an old soul? I think, okay, people who know me, I prefer things, old, but then I also like learning. So I mix both of them. So the old ways old ways are full of nostalgia, and then the new ways are full of knowledge, which I love. I'm addicted to that. But what I want to say is like fudge. I forgot what I wanted to say. But like, okay, oh yeah, hold on, I just remembered. So you say, so is it better to be old fashioned and master your own resources, or teach yourself like the new things and try to master them? But don't forget that the older you get, the more, let's just say, disadvantaged or frail your abilities become. You understand? So which one are we going for? Because I also realized that, as somebody who's creative in a way, I like my things being raw, like literally coming from my heart and passion, But then passion can only take you so far, you understand? And that kind of sucks. That's just the truth of it. So that's why AI gets into the mix, all these new things. So which one do you guys kind of prefer?
I don't know, man. That's an interesting question.
You know what I feel? You know what I feel
Like,
I feel like forgetting or losing or letting go of your core values and your core morals, and learning new values and morals and principles, I feel like that's a bad thing. My solution to this whole dilemma is to stick to your core principles, but be open-minded. Understand? Don't reject anything new. Don't reject any new principles. Don't reject new methods. Be open enough to learn these new models or these new methods, but stick to your own principles. Don't lose your own principles, your own values,
okay,
but be
I
open.
think like I hear what Gift is saying. Like, I think like I had this. It says, so you should hold on to your principles, and like hold them tightly, but you should hold loosely ideas, because ideas change with time, and you should be willing to adapt with what the time is. But your principles, those are like, that's what helps you to navigate your way around this world. So you should hold on to your principles, but never hold on too tightly to ideas, because when times change, like, you're also supposed to evolve. Like, you shouldn't box yourself to one thing, bro. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. The whole
That's like, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
I was saying the whole concept or the whole principle of human nature is adapting.
Yeah. Or die. Remember Darwin said that? You adapt or you die.
Yeah.
You adapt or you die.
You adapt or you die. So if you look at it from a natural point of view, all the organisms that stayed the same died.
Right.
The ones that carried on and evolved were the ones that evolved and changed and adapted to the climate or whatever. So the only way for us and the older generation to strive in this new world and this new era is for us to adapt. But also in that adaptation, we shouldn't lose our core principles. We shouldn't lose, because take a mammoth and an elephant. A mammoth is just a hairy elephant. You get it? It's still an elephant. It still has tusks. It still has, what do they call that thing? A trunk. So it stick to its core principles, but it changed a few things just to adapt to the warmer climate or whatever. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that one.
So just adapt. It's all about an adaptation. Yeah?
Nah, I don't have much to say on that. But then I like, because that speech was to me, because man, like I've been so away from, like I'm literally living under a rock. You understand? And like I'm away from anything social media interactions. My only social media is WhatsApp, but and I don't even watch status, bro. So I'm so like confined in, like, I don't have a little world that I live in, but I do like kind of, what can I say on this? I just try to keep up, read new things and all that. But then interactions with social media, nada. Because I remember one time, well, normally when I go to YouTube, that's my other social media link. Bro, like I'll just hop onto shorts and then just hear like an AI generated voice and ish. I don't know, man. Like it's not convincing. And like when I see my younger siblings actually having their attention captivated by that, it's like, bro, how much can AI, or how much can technology mimic a human being? You understand? Because already it's not brainwashing, but it's actually creating that part in their minds that, okay, this voice literally is from a man, straight up breathing, taking a round two, taking a round one, wearing pants. And that scares me, man, because like I said, I prefer things raw. So what do you guys think? How do we wagwan?
Yeah, like it's just like it's like when you said that, something else just came into mind. Like when you talk about like this AI and technology as in general, like mimicking a human being, like do you realize just of um how much like we rely on human interactions, and like really don't know what like this technology is gonna do to us like socially. Like in other countries we have people who prefer like dating. I think it's in Japan, I'm not sure, but like people prefer like an AI partner over like an actual human being. For real, for real. Like I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, man, like that's the future that can become a reality, because of just how advanced this is. And when we're talking about soft generation and all that, I feel like it just ties into what we're talking about right now.
Okay, I have a question. A gift. Do you have something to say first?
Yeah, I do. It's just a point. The way you're feeling right now is the same way our parents felt when we went to Google, or we got WhatsApp. The same way you're feeling right now when you look at
Okay.
kids being brainwashed by, or not brainwashed by, this whole brain rot concept of AI and all that. This is the same way our parents felt when we were on YouTube, or when we were, what else? When we were playing Subway Surfers or whatever. This is the same way they felt. But then look at us now. Are we wrong? We're not wrong. Understand? We're still on, in a sense, we're on the right track. So I feel like that fear is still gonna be there, because we're not. It's not our era. I feel like the AI space. It's the only advantage of this is that it's growing rapidly. So we might be part of it because it's growing rapidly. Take the past 2 years, for instance. AI has changed so much in the past 2 years. So it's growing rapidly, so we might be added onto that era. But I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I feel like it's something that we should embrace. The same way we wanted our parents to embrace us as we were like walking into this whole information field, whatever, is the same way we should embrace the younger generation. Let's just let them do what they need to do with the information that they have. But then at the same time, acknowledge that it's growing so rapidly that we also might need to adapt to that era, or adapt to the new lifestyle. As Tato said, now people are opting for AI partners or whatever. We might need to get AI partners too.
Nah, bro, I'm not gonna do that. Like I refuse. I will judge you. I will shame you as well if you have an AI girlfriend or wife. No, I just want you to know that. What the hell
that's
is
that's
that,
a
dog?
gets to
Come
shame
on.
now.
Come on.
Okay, right now I feel shameful right now because like literally last week I was so bored in my non-social media lifestyle, and I literally downloaded
Ooh.
I downloaded dating apps, right? And then I was like, let's see
Wow.
how what I got, bro. There's this app called like Boo,
Aye,
and then
aye, aye. Which
dog,
one
I
did
literally
I?
filled in every
Aye.
single
What is he
thing,
up with this?
and then
He's
that thing, you man.
he's
Bro, hear me out, bro. I was on some low
ooh.
social interaction level, boy. So now I was like, bro, maybe I can, I don't know, man, just meet a new person. I don't know because where I stay is so
Oh,
deserted,
hey,
and
Joe, you
bro,
can
people don't come
that name,
outside, bro. You understand? So then I was like,
bro.
bro, maybe I can find somebody. And then on that app, bro, that thing AI generated who I am, and then I was like, bro, okay, that's dope. And then it gave me my options were people that don't even gel with who I really am. And I was like, nah, boy, this is not it. And then I was like, nah, let's give it a chance. Gave it like 3 days, deleted it. And I was like, you know what, bro, it ain't working. Tinder doesn't work. None of these apps work. Go outside, meet people, and yeah.
Go
And
outside, man.
okay, to conclude this,
No, they do work though for some
okay,
people.
yeah. So to conclude this, guys, maybe we
Yeah.
should have a part two. I don't know if you guys agree to this. Maybe we can talk about other things on this. But to conclude this, what is like one thing that you can implement as shame, but the shame shouldn't be so, let's say, condemning or condescending? What would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah,
It's a good question. Good question. One thing I'd do is I'd go back to I'm going back to my previous answer when I said we're so subjective that we're losing our train of thought in a sense when it comes to wrong or right. So one thing I'd do is go back to the basics, man. Go back to the basics of decorum. Go back to, if you see that a certain group of people or a certain part of society is acting in a way that is wrong, but then
it's not right.
yeah, it's not right, but then they're hiding behind the whole "it's my opinion," freedom of speech thing. I feel like as a person, it's baby steps. As a person, just point it out to them and say, no, it's your opinion, yes, but then if it's wrong, it's wrong. You get me? If it's, you can't say stuff like that to a person. You can't do stuff like that to a particular person or to a group of people, and then hide behind the notion of it's your opinion. So I feel like not shame the people who are hiding behind that. Shame the people who are condescending other people without condescending them. You understand? But in a more shame them by educating them. Don't shame them by throwing stones and all that. Just shame them by educating them, because at the end of the day, it's all about educating each other and being better people.
It's natural. Like, I don't know. I feel like shame could be a good or a bad thing depending on context. So I think we need to sort of reshape what shame is and what it should do. Like, okay, maybe shame is a bad word, but I think like when people do things, like we should make them feel guilty, because I feel like guilt is something that you feel after you did something, and shame is something that you feel when you are someone. So ever so often when people feel ashamed of something, like they just feel bad. Like I think also like with shame, nah, like sometimes you might not learn anything from it, like you could even feel ostracized and stuff like that, which isn't always a bad thing, but it can be a very bad thing. It can be a very disruptive thing one time. So I think shame isn't all that bad. I think it depends on the context and how we make you feel afterwards. So like as Kev said, like we must teach you and stuff like that. Like it's a very hard thing to do, but I think in society, like if you can just find a way to make shame a constructive feeling and not a destructive one. Like we can get quite far.
Okay, that's cool. I'll take that. I'm on my side, bro. As an old person who's currently in their early 20s, bro, I'm just gonna say that, man, everybody should just breathe. Yeah, but don't forget your values, morals, and principles, because without them, boy, the car is just gonna crash and you are the driver. You understand? Let's go in the right direction as the youth, as people. Let's evolve, revolve, but let's not forget that we are also distracting the bad things. So this is where we ended, you guys. I know, it's been a long time, but I don't even apologize, because like I've been dealing with my own ish, and yeah, I'm also human, and I'm not AI generated. Thank you guys for listening. Catch you in the next, like, maybe 2 weeks, same time, same place. Catch us on Spotify, Apple, flipping anywhere where you listen to podcasts. B24, be better than B4, and we are out.